Okay, real quick, I'm going to make another video. I'm going to show you how I'm going to sculpt Steve Reeves. This is the head sculpt I'm working on. It's going to be a little bigger than 1/6 scale. I just want it to be impactive. But this is all epoxy. On the cheek there, that's white epoxy that I had left over. Eventually what I'll do is I'll paint this gray, so it'll be one uniform color. But this is the armature that I did. Usually what I do is I'll do a cheap polymer clay rough out on a wire armature, and then after that's cooked I have a nice rigid form, and then I'll go over it with epoxy putty. And I think this whole piece I'm going to probably do an epoxy putty because I really like the way epoxy works. But here's like my reference material. It's so important to take pictures of your work and study them, because you learn so much from taking a picture rather than looking at it in person. These particular pictures that I took, I noticed that when I combined it to the actual photos of Mr. Reeves, by the way, I'm a huge fan of the man, and so is my friend Dave Rossler, and we're doing this together as a model kit. And a statue too, it's going to be painted as well. Real quick, I noticed that the nose was just a tad bit too long, and there was also a little too much space in between the lip and the nose. So if you look at this head, you can see I actually cut a wedge out. You can see the line that I used a cutter, a saw. And that saw luckily took away about maybe a 1/16 of an inch. And that was just enough to give me a closer likeness to Reeves. Now, you got to understand something. Once you put the beard on this, it's going to change the look of it drastically. But you get the gist of it just looking at this photograph. It's pretty damn close. But like I said, still in the works. Basically, the scene that we're doing is the scene where he attaches the chains that he just whoops some ass with around pillars in the Colosseum. And you can see how I'm using this picture as the main picture for the anatomy structure. But of course this picture is blurry, so you can't use that. I have to look at close-ups of him. But basically this will be the pose. Hang on one second. These are pictures of him without a beard that I used to get the contours of his face correct. This is from the same movie. This is the chains, the size of the chains, which we already have the size of the chains proper. And I did how many heads tall he is, and that's how I'm doing the sculpture. The same heads tall. Here's another picture of that same picture. Mr. Reeves is a very good-looking man. I would say probably the prototypical, good-looking man. The physique and the hair and the eyes, the blue eyes and chiseled face. Pretty scary how good-looking this guy was. And believe it or not, he made a lot of money with these Italian films. He didn't even really want to do American films. They weren't going to pay him as much. Sorry about the camera's morphing his top of his head. But here you can see like what I'm talking about with his eyes. I mean, this might have been manipulated a little bit, but the guy was incredible looking. And, forget about his physique. It was just amazing. Just amazing. Excuse my sinuses. That this time of the year, it's like brutal for me. Here's some more pictures of his face. And then how his V taper was insane. But this is, once I put the beard on, you'll see it come to life, and also the bushy hair, you know, almost a DA kind of hair. But I mean, look at the lats on this guy. That's insane, and the shoulder width. I think he was like right around 6 foot tall. I think he was like basically 6 foot tall, and he would weigh right around, they say like from 212 to 218 he'd fluctuate. You know, he had 18, 19-inch arms. You know, they weren't small. You got to remember, this is the 50s. And, you know, I don't think he ever did steroids, ever. But anyway, kind of tragic. I don't know if you know how he died. He went in to get his shoulders fixed. He actually injured his shoulders in a movie scene, and he never really was the same. And he was getting surgery, and when they put him under, they used too much, whatever the hell that shit's called, and they killed him. So it's kind of sad. I think he was only like maybe like mid-60s or something. But anyway, you get the idea what's going on here. I hope you just see my arm. I got really bad eczema from using shitty soap. Anyway, that's enough of my life. I hope this helps. There's going to be more of these. I'm going to pretty much show you the whole piece being done in time. Okay?